All right, let's keep going, shall we? As we round the corner into the last half of the blessings in Matthew 5:7, blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Okay, let's just go ahead and call this one like it is. This blessing is a hard one to take, because apparently there's a correlation between the mercy you and I give and the mercy that you and I will be able to receive. James, the brother of Jesus, who echoes much of the Sermon on the Mount, actually, he reiterates this reality in his own writings, saying this in the book of James, chapter 2, verses 12 through 13. So, we must both speak and act in every respect like those who are destined to be tried by the perfect law of liberty. That is God's law. And remember that judgment is merciless for the one who judges others without mercy. So, by showing mercy, you take dominion. The ESV translation says that mercy triumphs over judgment. Is that not what Jesus modeled for us? Who had more to hold against us? As he hung on a cross placed there by the malice and injustice of those around him, would he not have been completely justified in calling down multitudes of angels to completely destroy and punish a hateful and malicious mob? And yet, what does he do? He prays, Father, forgive them. What? What an offense to the enemy. What a weapon to yield. What a moment that actually secured his victory and our means to amazing grace. Mercy right there on full display, triumphing over judgment. To be merciful is to live as one who has been united with the very heart of Christ, our merciful and gracious King. To refuse to show mercy is to actually despise the very mercy we have been given. And though salvation is a free gift of God, there is an aspect of how he deals with us that depends on how we deal with others. You may feel like there is an excruciating lack of justice on the earth here and now, and you're not wrong. But to deny ourselves the ability to extend mercy is to shut the door of grace right in our own faces. To take up the mantle of judge and jury in the lives of someone else is to take a burden that is not ours to bear. And it's decreeing over our eternity a future that I am sure none of us desire. A future that blocks, at least in part, the full outpouring of mercy. Look at the parable of the unmerciful servant in Matthew 18. This servant is in massive debt. He's called to account by the king. The servant begs for his life, swearing he would find a way to pay it back. The king is moved with mercy and cancels the whole debt altogether. What mercy! What a moment of celebration. But then that same servant then goes, finds a man who owes him astronomically less money and calls him to account. The man does the same as the servant did, begging for mercy and promising to repay. But instead of treating this debtor the way the king treated him, he has the man thrown in prison. Ultimately, the king finds out and says to the servant, "Shouldn't you have had mercy on your fellow servant just as I had on you?" The servant is then thrown into prison, receiving the same level of mercy he himself had extended. And how does Jesus end the story? Listen. He says, "This is how my heavenly Father will treat each of you unless you forgive your brother or sister from your heart." Bottom line, we will never regret being generous with our mercy and forgiveness. There is plenty of injustice in the world, masses of horrible evils that I will never understand. Betrayal, genuine hurt, heartbreak inflicted by others. But to extend mercy is to say that we trust the one who will one day call all to account. And his justice is absolutely perfect. May all who live in his wealth of mercy find the promise fulfilled. Blessed are the merciful,